Hi, it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. Welcome. This is a little seating area in my office, and I thought I would start in here because I have a couple of the quilts hanging on my wall for decoration, and it just so happens they're two of our top sellers. So we're going to start with this one. This fabric is not available. These are older quilts, but I did want you to see corner play. It has been one of our best-selling patterns for many years. Originally, I designed this at the request of Modern Quilts magazine. They asked me for a 3-yard quilt, and this particular one was in their magazine for one, and then they had rights for a year before it came back to me. So Fabric Cafe has published it, and it has continued to be in our top 10 since we first introduced it to our customers. Now over here, there's another one of our top 10 patterns. This particular one is called So Quick. So Quick is actually, I think, the second or third pattern that I ever designed with using 3 yards. And since 2010, this pattern has been in our top 10 every single year. I think it's probably in the top 10 for number 1. It's just a great looking quilt. And again, this fabric is not available, but I will show you some that is available. It has a big 10-inch block, and it's just a striking quilt. And if you are an experienced quilter, you can make this in no time at all. And if you're a beginner quilter, you'll make it in a very short time too. I like to tell the story about sending my sister Judy a quilt right after she retired. She said, "I'm ready to make a quilt," and she had just gotten chickens. So I sent her some chicken fabric and this pattern, and about a week or two later she called me one day and she said, "I got up this morning and decided to make that quilt," and she said, "I made it in 6 hours. That seems kind of fast." And so if you've never tried this particular one, it is very quick to make. So this one is called So Quick, and it's one of our top 10 patterns since 2010. Now let's go back in here into the fabric room. We have lots of goodies to show you today. I've got lots and lots of quilts. These are our top 10 patterns, and we're going to go back to the So Quick. This is the one that I was just showing you in my office. And we have it made up with this adorable chickadee fabric. And it's called Spring Forest, is the name of the kit, and it's on our website, www.fabriccafe.com. So if you'll go over there, you can look for Spring Forest. It's only $24. It is a very, very popular kit. We sold quite a few of these just today when we said we wanted to show this one, and we realized that everybody had already discovered it. But see the cute little chickadees that are on the fabric with the nest. So it's called Spring Forest, and let's put this here and I will show this particular quilt. Isn't that great? Now if you're new to 3-yard quilts, one 3-yard kit will make a quilt this big. We considered those a lap quilt. If you want to make it bigger, you just order 2 kits, and you can make a twin size by just doubling your blocks. And if you want a king queen, you can buy 4 kits and make 4 times as many blocks, arrange those into a king queen. So it's a great way. I call it component quilting. So if you want 1 kit for a lap quilt or 4 for a king queen, works great. All right, we're going to put this over here in our holding area. Another one of our top 10 is called Gallery. Gallery was originally, on the cover of our Modern Views magazine. I've remade it multiple times. This is what the pattern cover looks like. And this one is called Steady and Neutral. It's a $29 kit, and it comes with the Gallery pattern. And the fabric is just fun. I like to mix my prints. I love texture. And so this particular one is also a very popular pattern. And when I originally designed this one, I thought it looked like those photos that you hang with ribbons in between the boxes, so that's why I named it Gallery. But that's a great one. It's called Steady and Neutral, $29 kit. And it would be great in our homes now where we're going more and more to the neutral colors. So it would look super. So if you've got one of those daughter-in-laws looking for a gray quilt or something to go with her gray sofa, you've got it with that one. All right, the remainder of the quilts I'm going to show you today are in this book called Pretty Darn Quick. Now, every quilt in this pattern is available in the book, and it's also available as an individual pattern. So if you do want the book, it has 8 different patterns. All 8 of them are top sellers, and occasionally I have done this where I've taken our 8 best sellers and put them in a book. I've done it twice because I was introducing individual patterns, and people would come in and they'd say, well, which book is that in? People like the books because they do give your instructions for enlarging. You have your lap size, you have a twin size, and you have a king queen size. And again, that's 1 kit, 2 kits, or 4 kits. So the books are great because they give that information, where the individual patterns do not. They just tell you how to make a lap quilt. So our special that's going on during this week is whenever you buy 3 kits, you can ask for the book and it will be free. Just put it in the comments and you tell us the name of the book that you want. This one's called Pretty Darn Quick. So all 8 of these patterns are in this book, and we're going to start with this one. Now remember the corner play pattern I showed you in my office hanging on the wall? And I said that fabric's not available because those are older quilts. But this fabric is available, and it's the corner play pattern. Now this is a wonderful Quilting Treasures fabric, and it is called Cashmere. So this particular one, let's pull the title out. So if you're looking for this one on, whoops, that's the wrong one. Let's try this one. Okay, so this one's called Mosaic. It's the corner play pattern. It's $34 for the fabric. It's a beautiful fabric. And just another glance at the quilt. That one is called Corner Play. And it has remained in our top 10 ever since we introduced it. It's been a wonderfully popular pattern. All right, the next one I want to show you is called Watercolor Garden, and it's using the Stepping Stones pattern. Stepping Stones is one of those patterns that whenever it hit Pinterest, it kind of blew me away, and within just maybe 6 months it had been pinned over 100,000 times. Shortly after that, they quit showing me all the numbers, so I don't know how many times it's been pinned since then, but I thought 100,000 times is pretty good for a pattern. So that's the Stepping Stones. It's also from that Cashmere line from Quilting Treasures. Love, love, love Quilting Treasures. And this is the Stepping Stones pattern. Isn't that a great pattern? And once again, any one of these would look awesome as a twin or a king queen if you wanted to make it larger. And we should have enough kits on the web. If for any reason you don't find it on the web, you can give us a call because we're happy to help you. We have great customer service. All right, that one's called Stepping Stones. Now another one, which just so happens to be on the cover of Pretty Darn Quick, is the fabric called Violets by Quilting Treasures. And I'm happy to say this was one of my curated fabrics. So I worked with Quilting Treasures and we put together the fabrics and picked out the colors, and I had so much fun doing that. And this one's called Violet Garden, and the quilt pattern is Bold Blocks, and I put it on the cover of the book. So those are the pretty fabrics. And Bold Blocks has a 10-inch block, so each of the blocks is offset and they are bordered on 2 sides. So it gives you a lot more movement in your design. And this one is called Bold Blocks. Again, one of our top selling patterns, and the fabric is called Violet Garden. This one is called The pattern is called Sugar Pie. Now in the book we've got it shown in a pretty pink, but this is the same violet fabrics, just a different color wave. The bold blocks had the teal accents, where this one has the green accents. This one's called Sugar Garden by Sugar Pie Pattern. So we'll put that over here, and I'll show you Sugar Pie. When I made this one, it's always fun. I'm always making little comments about how I have over 100 children, and that's being silly about my quilts being my children. But when you get that many and you're trying to name things, and this particular one, I just said, that's such a sweet quilt when I got through designing it, and I thought it looked like the candies that had been, you know, the ends had been twisted, so I called it Sugar Pie. So that one is a very popular one for any reason, but especially for little girls. It has been a very, very popular one. Now we're going to show you how cool it is that any 3 yards of fabric look great in any pattern. So here's Sugar Pie, and it's made up with another Quilting Treasures fabric. This one's called Pretty in Pink. It's $26 for the kit, and it has those pretty pink and yellow. I still remember I did my daughter's bedroom in pinks and yellows and purples when she was little. So this one is exactly the same as that last one I showed you. Same pattern, just done with different fabrics. So any 3 yards will work with any one of my patterns. When you're ordering the kits, you get to pick which pattern you want. We make several suggestions, but if you are like a lot of people, you've actually downloaded the list of patterns, which you can do in our free goodies tab. Just download our pattern collection sheet, and if there's a pattern, you can just kind of start checking off your patterns, and if there's one you want, then you can write it in the comments section that you would prefer to have that particular pattern. All right, another one that I introduced just a few years ago, I think this one's probably been out about 2 years, is called Heartland. In Heartland, when I first brought it out, this was the very first quilt that I made using that pattern. So this is Heartland, and I named it because I just thought it looked like a good middle of the road, kind of a Midwestern or Central USA pattern. I just liked it a lot. And this particular one sold really fast. I don't have this exact fabric, but we do have a kit that is using similar fabrics from the same line, and that is right here. It's called Bristol Creek, and it's using the Heartland pattern. It's only $26, and you would get very much the same look that you have with this if you like this particular one. Not identical, but it would look very, very similar. So that one's called Heartland. And here's Heartland made up with another one of my fabrics. So I designed 2 lines working with Quilting Treasures. This one's called Friends and Family. Friends and family are very important to me, and I wanted one that had the pretty little names on it, and they just did an excellent job in doing the design work on this particular line of fabric. This one is called, let's see what this one's called. This one's called Family and Friends. Now we have several kits using either the violet or the Friends and Family fabric. So you can see this one is done with the teals and the purple. Again, a very pretty rendition of the Heartland pattern. Okay, staying with the Friends and Family fabrics, I did this particular design. So again, this one is the teals and the purple, this one is the green and the purples together. We've got that little sprig of green, and there's also a little sprig of the, a little bitty of berry that has the teal color fabric. I think that looks really cool. So this particular one is made with our Porch Rails. It's called Family Time. It's been an extremely popular quilt for us. Porch Rails is one of those that goes together so fast, and when I named this one, it had the rail fence and then it had a square, and I thought, well, it's just, these are the the porch rails around my porch. Love sitting out on my porch. So here's porch rail. Now, one of the things that I did on whenever I was designing this fabric is I kept in mind the fact that I thought people might enjoy having a nice kind of a basic neutral that they could use for backing. You don't have to put it on the front of the quilt. You could actually use this fabric for the backing. So you can order this by the yard, and it is on our website. And it comes in like 3 different colors, but the gray was especially intended for you to be able to put it on the back. I love it for the backing. It's like sending a love note with your quilt when you're giving it as a gift. Now, one of my all-time favorites, oh my gosh, I'm going to show you this in 3 different fabrics. This one is called It's a Snap. It's a lot of fun to make. It does have some cool, do I have this upside down? Well, let's try it the other way. I think you might like it better that way. All right, here we go. So it has the cascading blocks, and it really is a beautiful, beautiful quilt. This one again is Quilting Treasures Fabrics, and it's from that cashmere line. Gorgeous, isn't it? So here's one design. What was that?
Let me come in and look at the...
Okay. Oh, it has cool quilting on it. Let me turn it around and show you the back quilting part, because that's always fun to see too. Look at that great quilting. Isn't that just awesome? Love it. All right, so this one is called It's a Snap, and let's see if I drop to the piece of paper here. Oh, it's over here. All right, let's see. This one's called Eastern Skies, and it's a snap pattern, and here's the beautiful fabrics. Now, I told you I was going to show you 3 of these, and here's one done with my fabrics. And let's see. Oh, sorry, John. John's trying to keep up with me here so he can show you the fabrics up close. So here we have It's a Snap, and again I used the Friends and Family fabrics, and that one, I think this is probably one of my favorites. I just like the way this looks. It just looks like a yummy, yummy quilt. So that one is called It's a Snap, and again this is the Quilting Treasures fabric that they invited me to curate a couple of lines, and I had a lot of fun doing it, and it's been very, very popular. Now here's the same pattern once again, and it's made up with a poinsettia, and it's called Pretty Poinsettias. It's a $26 kit, and it's using It's a Snap pattern. So let's look at it. And this one's kind of a soft, Christmassy looking quilt without being just in your face. It has those beautiful poinsettias. They're kind of a watercolor look. And the little gray fabric, those are teeny tiny little pine cones on the fabric. So this one, you can order it with the backing, and the backing is using the little pine cones as well. Too cute. So that one is It's a Snap, and you saw it in 3 different fabrics. So like I said, any 3 yards will look good with any of our patterns. It's just so cool. Now we're going to end up with 2 more of the quilts made with my fabrics, the violets. This particular one is the Violet Gardens Through the Window, and it has these beautiful colors. And here's the pattern, Through the Window. And this particular one is a pattern that we designed some time back, and I've used many different fabrics, but I really like it in the violet because it is like looking through the window into a pretty garden. But I'm going to show you the same quilt made. Let's come over here and look at it close. So this is made with the greens, this is made with the purples and teals, and both of them are just so pretty. So through the window, let me hold this one up for you. Just gorgeous. So the two different ones are named slightly different. So this one is the Violet Gardens 2, and this one is just plain Violet Gardens. So those are our top 10 patterns that continue to sell very, very well. And if you are interested, you can get the book free if you buy 3 kits. Just put the name Pretty Darn Quick in the comments section whenever you order 3 kits. And we thank you so much for joining us today. We've had fun sharing more of our quilts with you. And have a great day. Stay healthy and safe. This is Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe.